you know that one of the major reasons why you have not been getting the kind of job or the kind of school you have not been able to enter, the kind of school that you really want to, you really desire to enter, is because you are not more than a regular teacher. Do you know? I will be opportune to interview several teachers. I always realize that there is a gap between the regular, it's not a small gap actually, it's a very big gap between the regular teacher and the more than the regular teacher. When they go for the micro teaching, starting from the entrance into the school, the micro teaching, the presentation, the questions that are being asked and how they answer the question, it is very glaring to know who is regular and who is more than irregular. Hi, my name is Tinola Dende. I am the founder of More Than a Teacher, the Intentional Educator, where we teach teachers how to become more than the regular teacher. That's what we do, right? Okay, permit me. I'm streaming live on two platforms, the Facebook community and the YouTube community. So my head will be going forth and back. So permit me. Let's just dive in immediately. When you hear more than a regular teacher and then the regular teacher, when you are like, what's the difference? What makes the difference? The difference is very glaring, and I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things that make them very different. Some of the things that make them very different. Let's start by thinking through what our teachers used to be during that time. There are lots of things that our teachers did during our time that we think are not okay. But unfortunately, now we are teachers and we see ourselves going back into those old patterns. It is like a pattern, and it is very difficult to break out of pattern. It takes consistency, it takes practice, it takes effort, it takes commitment to break patterns. You don't want to be like your teacher. You want to be better than your teachers. So you need to have you need more tools to be able to solve, be able to do more than your own teacher. So who are the regular teacher? But regular teacher, we are not saying that maybe they are bad teacher or no, far from it. We don't have bad teachers. In one of our training, we did something on passion and skill. What are bad teachers really? Because most of us enter into this profession with good intention, and we are doing our best in the real sense of it. Now, a regular teacher, however, should just be done the way they've been done. Things should remain the way they are. We want to follow the curriculum to the letter, that like follow it bumper to bumper, the way it is just written. Or they want to, this is the textbook we are using, and then you are not going out copying or anything, you're just going strictly to renew this topic, like, and this is where our teacher taught us. That's how I used to pick out the regular teachers first. They have the mentality that the way they have been taught is the perfect way. There is no need to exchange anything, there is no need to do anything different. They just want it to repeat itself. And I hear them say things like, we go to school, we have been teaching like this for how many years? You have been using the same method. We know them, where we'll see them. Does this sound like you, or does this sound like something you have heard before? Teachers that just want things to just remain the same, they feel that the way it is okay enough. There is no need to change it, there's no need for adjustment. It's just perfect the way it is. So what are we saying? We're saying that these teachers focus on the curriculum, the normal curriculum, no more, no less. Are they doing something bad? No, they're not doing something bad. They are following the curriculum. Is it not the curriculum you're supposed to follow in school? So yes, they are doing something right. So another thing they do is they follow the textbook. This is the way the textbook is, the example of the textbook, the direction of the textbook, forgetting that textbooks are written by people. Okay, so did they do something bad too? No, I didn't say so. Now they also use instructional material based on the way it used to be, the way they taught them in the while they were doing their PGD, while they were doing their educational courses. Yes, the way they just, the way they've seen it around. It's not just to write on the cardboard and just paste on the cardboard. Yes, those people that did it, didn't we learn? Yes, that's the question they used to ask. Didn't we learn when our teachers were doing that? Yes, we learned. Didn't we? Okay. Now, the last one, the disciplinary measures are the same thing, exactly the same thing with the way it has been done in the past. No new thing, no addition, no subtraction. And yet they say things like the kids nowadays are sports. They don't take education serious because During our own time, all these things they are doing, they cannot dare it. Can you even try it with a teacher? You would have been flogged. It's because they don't used to flog them. Oh shit, well done. But really, that is just being the regular. I don't mean to say this, but it's just the regular, isn't it? When I say regular, I just mean the normal thing that is that is everywhere, that is acceptable everywhere, and we see it everywhere every time, and that even make it look even more normal because that is what everybody is doing. Of course, that is what we are seeing everywhere. Of course, so it's normal. It only look normal for us to also follow the same trend, but we are saying this is being the regular and nothing more than the regular. But when we want to now start stepping higher, when you want to enter those big schools that you're already hiring, those schools that are using Cambridge curriculum perfectly well, correctly well, those people that are using British curriculum, that are using Montessori properly. No, I have seen Montessori. There are Montessori schools and there are Montessori schools. Let's not go there today. So when you want to not step up and you want to go to a school and you want them to ask you like, where have you been? Where have you been working? When did you school? And you're like, I studied in Nigeria. I went to the normal school. Well, something is different. That means you are more. That is the gift of the extra. There is something extra that you're doing. And I must tell you, if I should pick over 30 teachers that I have been able to interview, only one always strike my memory to today. Only one brought something extra to the table. And do you know what? Before we left that table, I was telling my colleague, I said, this person already have the job. And she said, of course, she has nailed it. She's getting the job. She actually got the job. Because even when the proprietress came around and we delivered, we told her exactly what she did, everybody was wowed. They're like, yes, this is it. But most of the time when we interview 30 teachers, if we even pick one or two, it's just to manage and start retraining them. And even the retraining process is never as easy as we even imagine. Because these teachers believe it doesn't have to be hard now. This thing we've been doing it for how many years? Our teachers have been doing it. Teachers are still doing it. So why do we need to go extra? So I am here today to tell you that there is more to teaching. There is more that you can give. And this more makes you get more pay. It's getting more opportunities. It gets you to some levels that even you will not imagine. When you're talking, you're not the regular teacher. I am not the regular teacher, actually. I am more than the regular teacher. Okay. So what is it that about this more than intentional teacher, more than regular teacher? I said these are exceptional teachers. They are intentional teachers. To be intentional means you are mindful of almost everything that you do. The things you say, how you say it, how you go about it, everything is more than the regular. There is something, the heights of the what they used to call it. Like, there is ice cream, normal ice cream is sweet, everybody likes it. But somebody is now bringing something else to now sprinkle on it. What is it? What is that extra you're going to be bringing to the table? This series, don't even miss it. If you intend to, don't even miss it, because you will be learning and unlearning. We'll be learning together, actually. We'll be learning and unlearning things together. I am still not of a teacher. I am still willing to learn more. I'm open to learning. So for the intentional teachers, there are some things that they do differently. And one of it is that they explore alternatives. They don't want to stick to the way it has been. They believe there are better approaches. They are willing to embrace new approaches, and they are key into making it work. It is different to embrace something, an idea. It is another thing to key yourself into ensuring that it actually works. Take for instance, we say don't beat kids in the school. This has become a very popular note. Everybody now says it. We don't beat in our school. We don't beat in our school. Yes, you don't beat, but do you really key into it? If you don't beat, but you verbally abuse the child, do you know you are still wrong? You are still almost the same with somebody that is beating the child. Do you know that even if you are not verbally abusing the child and you are giving the child one bad high, or giving them or abandoning them The mommy said we should not beat them. Oh. Me, I cannot come and kill myself. When you're doing that, you are still not key into the concept of not beating a child. Not beating a child does not mean that you should allow the child to be let loose and just do anything that they like. No, there is a higher knowledge. There's something more that you can do that will help the child still achieve what you had actually intended for them to achieve. Are we getting value? If you ever got anything that strikes you, anything that makes sense to you, please feel free to just chat it up in the comment section. Now, another thing about intentional educator is that they inspire the love for teaching, for learning. They inspire the love for learning. They're not just into the class to just teach. Oh God, when I get teacher stop. They're not just in the classroom to just teach because my children even like me, oh they do this. So they are not there just because of that. They are not there for the children to like them. They are there to ignite the love for learning, thereby making the child, the kids, continuous learners. You see what I'm saying now? They are paving way for the kids to become continuous learners. They don't want them to just learn for a while. They don't want them to just learn while they are there. That's why we say, okay, math teaching. Somebody taught me in math. It was very good. And then you meet another teacher and it was very bad. And I'm like, well, math is hard. It's not because you've not come across a good teacher. It's because that person did not really groom that child to embrace loving that subject. You have just taught the child to read, to pass, to like you. Fine. But after you are gone, what else can the child do with the kind of information? How have you prepared the child to now move on without you? The same thing we say to lesson teacher. The essence of having a lesson teacher is to support a child. Just ignite the fire faster. It's not for you to be there 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You are still teaching the same child. Why? You're supposed to have ignited the fire that makes the child willing to explore and be able to do something independently. Another thing about intentional educator is that they inspire, they adapt teaching to individual needs. It is not one style fits all. It's not one method for everybody because every child in your class is different. Every child, I like to say it every time I'm training. I tell teachers that the child in your class, each one of them is an entity, is unique in its own form. They are unique, which means their needs are also unique. The way you cater for them, the way you talk to them, the way you address their issue, the way you teach them is unique. There is no, God has created us so perfectly well. That's why even our foot thumb prints, our prints are even different. Perfectly well. So it takes really work. And it is in the work that your result is. To make a child that is more than the regular child, you need to be more than the regular teacher, and which means that you are willing to give more than the regular information or anything to that child to be able to excel. So these teachers are able to adapt learning to individual needs. What does a child need? A child that learns by reading. What are you doing for the child? Another child that learns by looking, that just embrace whatever, the visual learners. What are you doing for them? What about the kinesthetic learners? Those ones that we easily tag the olodo of our class, that will tell that they are dull, they don't used to catch up. The kinesthetic learners often left out in the classroom. What about them? Are you taking care of them? Because we focus more on the auditory learners. Being auditory means you just need to talk. And when you talk, it's fine. They just get everything. And you're wondering, so is it not the same explanation that I gave to this child? Was he not there? Did he not hear me? But that child is not the same as the other child. So it takes more than a regular teacher to be willing to do what it is important to do for them to teach the kids the way they learn. And that's why one of the core things in our academy is we take the learning style. Understanding the learning style of your students is very, very, very key to becoming more than a regular teacher, because it will affect the way you discipline them, the way you teach them, the way you interact with them. The things that you say to them will be very different. Now, another thing is they bring about innovative teaching. Intentional educators are innovative. They are thinkers. Like by the name, they are intentional. in the things, in the approach you want to teach now, and it's not just going to the class, you just say a noun is a naming word, a noun is a name of any person, animal, place, or thing. That's not all. What happens to going into the environment and exploring? Okay, what can you see? Name the things you can see around you. What happens to having pictures and you're asking me, is this a name, is it a thing or a person? What happens to you being bringing games to the classroom that allow the kids to differentiate between now and what is not now? What happened to them understanding that everything around them is evil now, because everything actually has a name, and because it has a name, it is a noun. Only that some are categorized under name of a person, some under name of a things, some under places. Are you getting this? What happened to going the extra miles instead of just making them read, come to the class to listen and cram the information? I am running really fast because I want this to be as short as possible. Okay, another thing is the foster positive learning. Positive learning simply means that every child is willing to learn, every child is included. There's something called inclusive classroom. Every child is part of the classroom. They feel like part of the classroom, and the environment is so positive that they want to be there. They are willing to learn because the love for learning has been ignited. Is your classroom positive enough? Do you know that when you come for micro teaching, we can pick you up from there? How are you even teaching? How are you even taking notes of the pupils in your classroom? What are the things? Are you carrying some kids along and you're leaving some kids behind? What happened to collaboration in the classroom, exploring their critical thinking, allowing them to communicate in the classroom? What happened to all those things? How do you even? We watch everything. We watch everything, especially in good schools, big good schools. Everything matters a lot. Now, they also build strong relationship with the learners, with the management, with the parents. When I say strong relationship with parents, I didn't mean that you now go to parents' house because you have strong relationship. I never had to go to any parents' house, not for once. And I build a very strong relationship with my parents, especially when you have the kids in my class. So after they leave my class, you are the one that will come back and be checking on me like, oh, hi, how are you? How is this? My son, and you give me updates. But as long as your child is within the vicinity, my eyes is still on your child. And to the management, how are you doing something that collaborates with, that's going in line with what your school actually wants? Are you that teacher that feel that, okay, this is where I want to do it, but the management is this? Yes, no management is perfect. No school owner is perfect, just like no teacher is perfect. No human being is perfect. So are you able to come to a gap? When I'm taking teachers classroom management, I still look at it. We go beyond the classroom alone because there are other factors that influences what you do in the classroom, positively or negatively. So we kind of tap into the extra of what is in our environment. And these are the things we do when we do our classroom management challenge, when we do our when you enter the More Than a Teacher Academy, we make sure that you are encompassing. You are not just in one side. You are not just a pro teacher in the classroom, but when you get to the management level, you are nobody. When you get to relationship with the parents, you don't care. Mm-mm. Then finally, and most importantly, the More Than a Teacher, the intentional educators, they have this plan for continuous professional development. They are not satisfied with just being who they are. Am I done learning? No, I am not. Am I still learning? Yes, I am. Will I continue to learn? Yes, I will. There is no end to learning because actually, from cradle to grave, we are supposed to learn. That is what Islam teaches us. From cradle to vet, you are learning. There's always something to learn. As a teacher who want to prepare your kids for the future, hmm, you want to be willing to learn. I often ask that, what are you actually training these children from? Especially when I meet the irregular teachers, what are you actually preparing these children from? Are you preparing them for the past, or you are preparing them for the future? I said it in one of my last training, and the teacher was like, "Oh, Oh, really? That was what striker in all the training. Like, what are we preparing the kids for? For the past or for the future? Because if you insist on doing it the way your teacher has done it, your teacher's own is of the past. It has passed. It has gone to the past. It has passed already. But now the kids you are preparing, the kids you have in your classroom are the future of tomorrow. So which means you need to have a peep into the tomorrow to be able to prepare them, to equip your learners to be able to strive in that tomorrow. So which means that if you just want to give the regular, if you just want to do what the curriculum is just saying, if you don't want to, if you feel all these things they are saying is already overwhelming, that means the kids you are that are in your care, the kids that come in contact with you will be at a disadvantage, because you would solely prepare them for the past and not the future. And that is one of the issues we have with the Nigerian curriculum. Unless it is reviewed, some of the things that we are doing are for the past and not the future. All this cramming everything. Who the cramming help? Please, according to the way it is said in our whole Nigeria, who cramming help? You just cram all these elements of this, element of that, part of this. You just cram everything